I think we're live. Are we live? What's up, guys? Tim Zabriskie here, back at it again with the brand new vid. It's what's up, guys? Okay. Tim Zabriskie. Yep, here. We're live. Okay, so it's a beautiful day. It's Sunday, July 9th. Had a fantastic weekend. Me and the Ruru, we went over to this wedding down in Poughkeepsie, New York. We had a good old time. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We got LA coming on. She's going to talk about our sports. She's going to talk about what it is that is new in the world of the NBA and in baseball. Also, we're going to be talking to my good friend, Rebecca, from San Francisco. She just started up a new blog, vlog, whatever it is. She's going to talk to you more about that, called Rose-Colored Love. Man, I wish that I could really talk today, but that's okay, because we're doing this live right here. So, okay, so we have a fantastic show. Let's get LA on the phone, give her a call, because I forgot to call her before the show started, but that's okay.
Hello?
Hello.
How are you?
What's going on?
Not much. How was your weekend?
The weekend was fantastic. We went to a beautiful wedding. How was your weekend? What'd you get into?
Took it easy after 4th of July festivities, so.
That was on Tuesday, though.
I know. I was struggling still.
How hard did you go on 4th of July? What'd you do?
Just went out in the city, that's all. You know, a little too much. Just a little too much.
That's right. That's right. So, what did you see a movie? Did you watch anything good on TV?
I did. I saw, I just kind of wandered around the city. Not too much. Met up with some friends, but took it easy.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's great. All right, so tell us about sports. What do we got going on?
So tomorrow starts tonight starts All-Star Week in baseball.
Cool.
What everyone's looking forward to, the Home Run Derby.
Oh, yeah.
Especially since Aaron Judge is leading the way with the rookie from the Yankees, who pretty much leads the league in home runs right now.
Oh, awesome. Great.
Yeah.
How many do you think he's going to get?
I don't know. At this pace, he could go over 40.
Wow.
I think he could do over 40, which, yeah. So, but supposedly I think last month was like they set the record for how many home runs were in a single month.
Okay.
It was like 1,100 or something like that. So, a lot of hits this year in baseball.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
So with the All-Star Week, it's a full week, right? Am I correct on that?
Yeah, a full week, and it's like a nice break for teams to regroup.
Okay.
Like if they're struggling, like they try to see what they can do. It's good for like the pitchers to get rest and other players who might be injured.
Mm-hmm.
Since the season is so long, like over 160 games. So this is like a nice like halfway point for teams to regroup, and some teams start doing really well after the break and try to make a playoff push. So it really like helps teams who have been struggling or injury prone.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone needs a chance to regroup. Even though like with baseball, like how long is the season of baseball typically?
Well, it starts in March for like preseason, their spring training, and it goes all the way, if you make it to the World Series, October.
Wow.
Usually the season ends end of September, but it goes all the way to October.
Gotcha. So, but in comparison to other sports, is that pretty average of a length? Is that?
That's a long. I mean, it's a long season, and you can play like 4 games, 5 games a week, depending. And
Mm-hmm.
they're always traveling. They usually do like a series is like 3 games against a team.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's pretty long. I mean, you think of football, they only play 1 game a week.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, 16 weeks, so it's a little shorter. Basketball players, they play 82 games in their seasons from
wow.
November all the way, and if they make the playoffs in the finals, it's like the first week of June. So some players are griping that they kind of want to make it a shorter season as well for NBA. So it can be grueling. But, I mean, baseball is not like physical contact like, say, like football or even basketball, like with they're aggressive on defense and just
but they're definitely
speed of the game.
There definitely are a lot of injuries and stuff like that, though, correct?
Yeah, yes. They're like hamstrings are major problems. Pitchers, I mean, they pull something in their arm, they could be out the rest of the season, and then they're not playing for like almost a full year, depending on what happens to the injury. So. It definitely ruins like the team, and that's like they're an ace on the team, so it's a lot, and then they have to bring up from their minor team, all that stuff. So they might have to do things like that depending on how many injuries.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So it, a big thing that I really like talking to you about on the show is sort of like pay and stuff like that, as we know. So since these guys, like, they're playing like 5-6 games a week in comparison to football players, how are these salaries really average, would you say? Would you say that there's more salaries, are they getting paid higher in football than they are in baseball?
Baseball's contracts are definitely higher than football. I mean, I think like Bryce Harper, who's leading like the league, he's kind of like was MVP last year, great home run hitter. He's like locked in and make like $20 million next year. And then you got to think back in the day when A-Rod had like the largest contract over, I think it was 10 years, $275 million.
Wow.
And the Yankees are going to be paying him for a long time because of the way he structured it. He's making sure he's getting paid after too.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then I think on July 1st every year there's this Mets player who hasn't played in over 15 years. He gets paid $1 million for the net, and it's still going on. So I think another 10 years, 15 years. So he's still on the payroll, but he hasn't played in like 15 years.
That's awesome. That reminds me of this this wrestling story. To interject, I know that you're not the biggest fan of wrestling, but
I used to watch it.
Okay, so you know who the Macho Man is, right? Ooh, yeah, right? Yeah. So when he signed with WCW back in 1994, he got his brother Lanny Poffo a contract that was a bunch of money, and this is part of the reason why WCW eventually had shut down in 2001. And Lanny Poffo was just under contract. He never wrestled a match for like, I don't know, almost a decade. Basically just was under contract, got paid doing nothing just because his brother was like, ooh, you need to sign my brother. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. That's crazy. I mean, listen, they know, they take the opportunity and run with it.
Absolutely. Awesome. Yeah. So what else do you got?
Speaking of people getting paid, NBA free agency was still in full effect. This past week, the big story was Gordon Hayward out of the Utah Jazz. He definitely been in the league, I think about 7 years now, but he's really made a name for himself, especially with that franchise and kind of helping turning it around with younger players.
Okay.
But he's decided to go to the Boston Celtics, and he's reuniting with his college coach, Brad Stevens. They were together at Butler. They lost the championship to Duke 7 years ago, and it was like a heartbreaking loss. So I think what really pushed him to go to Boston was that they have unfinished business and that they've always wanted to win a championship together. So great story.
Bringing the team back together. What's the pay? What do we got?
It hasn't been disclosed yet, his pay. But they had to get rid of a couple other players, probably bring him on because he could have gotten like a max contract. Especially since after leaving the Utah Jazz could have gave him a large contract. But also James Harden from the Houston Rockets just got the largest contract extension in NBA history, and he's looking to make till like 2023, I think, until the age of 33. Like over $300 million.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's so much.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even know what to do with it.
It's so much. It's just so much money. I mean, like you set up trust funds for your grandkids and their kids. So.
And their great grandkids, exactly. That you're never gonna meet, exactly. But it's like, oh, don't even worry about it. Me, I'm like, can I get another $2.50 an hour, please?
Yeah, I know. I know.
Exactly.
I'd be okay with like a little bit more, but yeah. So you got one of the largest contracts.
Gotcha. All right, so I'm pulling up the website right now. Tell us a little bit more about Sports and Champs. Have you made any changes or anything? Any new updates?
I'm not sure. Kind of like changing, kind of like a little design, playing around with draft. But Sports and Champs is just essentially a way to teach people about sports, especially like kind of more geared towards women. So you can kind of be involved in that conversation if you're at the bar. And you're sitting there and you're not too sure, you can kind of just pull it up and get an idea of just simple lingo and kind of what's going on with the game.
Definitely. So right now we're looking at the cleanup hitter, the fourth batter in the lineup with the most hitting power, trying to get that grand slam. I'm guessing, right?
Yes.
Awesome, great. See, I'm learning as well.
Yes.
Awesome.
It's for anybody.
Yeah, me especially, because I'm really bad at this whole thing. Okay, so LA, I do have one more question for you. I know that the wedding that I went to, you're good friends with those guys. Now, my question with you as well is: have you ever been to a wedding and you just listen to somebody talk, or an event? Let's just keep it out there. Have you ever been to an event and just listen to somebody talk and the stories that they tell, and just kind of thought it was really far-fetched?
Yes, all the time, and even daily life.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm going to be bringing up on my next topic. But LA, thank you so much for stopping by. I don't want you getting involved with what I'm talking about. But
thank you.
But yeah, we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one.
Talk to you later.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
So basically, what I wanted to jump into was we went to this wedding, and I'm not going to disclose any names because I ain't getting in trouble for nobody. But there was this thing that it's kind of like Wedding Crashers, right? When you watch that movie and it's like the guys there, they come up with different scenarios that they want to go with. That way they could try to pick up chicks, right? All for it. Now, I made a joke to Ruru on the way down, and I was like, hey, you know what you should do? You should just... None of these people are going to know you. They barely even know me. So you might as well go in there and say, like, you know, you work for the FBI and, like, the sex trafficking division or something like that. You know what I mean? And she was just like, yeah, ha, ha, ha. It's so funny. So then she's going to yell at me for even talking about this, but, you know, whatever. It's not the Ruru show. She's going to murder me in the other room. This is the Tim Zabriskie Show, and we're doing it live. So, we had this guy there that basically came up to us, and he's like, yeah, I went to school with you, and I want to try to make the facial expressions, because that was the best part. He's just like, yeah, I went to school with you, and you know, I got out of cooking around the same time that you did, because I knew that you would quit. And I was like, yeah, man, yeah, that's cool. And I'm like, oh, so what are you doing now? He's like, yeah, you know, I work in agriculture, and I only work, like, I don't know, like, he had a little bit longer hair, so I only work, like, you know, a couple days a week. It's really beneficial, you know, like, I actually can't even stick around tonight because I gotta leave, because I gotta talk to somebody, like, really early in the morning, like out in Brooklyn about some sort of agricultural deal. It's like, oh, okay. So as he's telling me this, and it was around a circle of people that actually were from Albany that actually had some mutual friends, and it was just funny because like these guys were just like, oh man, like it's one thing to talk about your job, like me, like I work at a gym, you know, I'll talk about that. I work in sales. That's basically what I'll say. You know, yeah, it's cool, it's a job, blah, 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 but just being like, oh my God. Oh, it's such a breathtaking experience being able to walk away from what I do and, you know, see all of you guys here in a really magical place. It just gives me bad memories of this one boss that I had at like a TV station where it's just like, yeah, you know, we really developed, and we're really intellectuals in terms of what we're doing. And it's just like, you know what, like just stop. And at one point, because he said that he was from like Jersey and from the city and stuff like that, at one point he was like, oh, so Tim, where is it that you and Ruru live? And I'm like, you know, we live up in Saratoga. He's like, oh, that's great. I have like a third home in Lake George. And I was like, oh yeah? I was like, oh, that's great. So why don't we exchange numbers, and, you know, we'll hang out sometime. And, you know, I didn't give him the number. And the best part is that my girlfriend knows me so well, and that she just looked at me today when we were walking back to the car, and she's just like, Tim, you're such a dick. You were never going to give that guy your number. I'm like, well, Rosa, I mean, if the stars were to have aligned, well, I would have definitely made that happen. But let me know in the comments below if you've ever had an experience like this where you're at an event or a wedding and some guys just, or girls, just being so presumptuous and really just coming at it like they're all that in a bag of chips. But at the end of the day, you remember that you're all in the same spot. So drop a comment for me down there. All right, so I'm going to give a shout out. I'm going to try to get Rebecca on the Googly Hangouts here. She should be picking up. All right, come on. Are you there? Hey, hold on. Trying to get this to go. There she is, folks. We did it. I didn't have to have the guy from Quarter Munchers here to do the whole thing for me. I did it all myself. What's going on? How are you?
Way to go. I'm great. It's still daylight out. It's super nice out here.
All right, so let me just do a little introduction and a little backstory and stuff like that. So Rebecca here has been my friend for, I don't know, like 30 years now, something like that. It's basically been my whole life. And she recently just went through a bunch of stuff, and she just started her dream. She just started her vlog. It's with a V, right? We're doing it with a V. We're not doing it with a
because it's primarily videos.
Okay.
So instead of writing, which I have no grammar skills whatsoever, it's videos.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So tell us the inspiration, tell us the backstory, tell us how we got to where we are today.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I mean, I've wanted to do something like this for the past 2-3 years.
Okay.
And I've been in my career, and I was in the thick of it. It was working so much, but I was happy, and it wasn't even an option to consider making something like this. It's very time consuming.
Okay.
And so recently, at the beginning of May, I actually came to an end with the company I was with. It was a really graceful exit. It felt very destined or divine, because I finished at 5 years on the dot with them, and it was exciting because I could take whatever path I wanted. And it actually all started, as soon as I was done with my job, you know, your mind kind of goes straight to, okay, I got to find a different job. What am I going to do next? And someone asked me when I was out to coffee with her, and she just simply asked, if you could do anything at all, what would you do? And I couldn't really think of any company I was like dying to work for, or any job I had to have. And I thought back of when I was in college, and what I went to school for was to really build my own business. And so the vlog idea of something that I wanted to do for so long popped into my head, and I was super excited because it felt like I had all this time and typically stressful period where you're unemployed, you're searching for a job, you could be super scared. Not gonna lie, I went back and forth every day. I'm like, oh, I'm great, I'm confident, and then the next day I was panicking.
Absolutely, yeah. That seems to be anybody that loses a job, because it's like a breakup, right?
there was a mourning period actually that luckily I had weeks to really come to terms that I was leaving and I had to start a new path, and it was very mutual and positive. So I went through that, but it's still scary. I kind of woke up, slept until noon one day and was like, what do I do with myself? But
still, sleeping till noon was pretty good though at some points, right?
What?
Sleeping till noon definitely has its perks every once in a while when you can do it.
Exactly. When you're waking up at like 7 a.m. for 5 years in a row. But I was really grateful that I could have something to be a creative and innovative outlet during that time.
Mm-hmm.
I had, like 2 months or so to really build something and build it well. And that was my mindset when I started is, a vlog however I wanted. I could build it slowly, but I had this protected time where I could really put my all into it and teach myself, invest in things, and experience the whole journey.
Exactly.
So I got to do that. It was amazing.
That's great. So tell us more about the actual vlog, Rose Colored Love. I'll pull it up right now for you as well. That way you can start telling us more about it.
So when I had to decide what I was going to do for a vlog, I actually originally thought I was going to go into fashion vlogging. I had this whole other idea, and then I happened to go home and I was talking to my mom all about it, and she was so excited. And we started talking about niches, and in that conversation I realized, oh my gosh, the one thing I'm obsessed with talking about is love. Like, any conversation I have is going to somehow get to that place, whether it's tell me about your relationship, how did you meet, are you dating anyone, or just having those conversations comes really organically. And the moment we started talking about it, I'm gonna vlog about love. And so I also wanted to segue it into something that wasn't just me finding love or someone finding love, because disclaimer, I am not an expert in any way on love, but
yeah, me neither, don't worry about that.
Right. If I was an expert, maybe I'd be in a relationship, but I'm single.
Oh, there it is. There it is, guys. If you're watching the show, this could be your day. No, I'm just kidding. Keep going. Keep going.
I know, right? So it's different aspects. It's loving yourself, loving the life you live. I'm very spiritual, so it's about my relationship and loving God, and then it's about my journey in finding love. And then I think that will segue into people around me, so maybe talking to a married couple or relationship, all levels. So I feel like I can go in so many different directions. If I do want to talk about fashion, I mean, that can very much tie into loving yourself and taking care of yourself. So this cycle of things I can go into and just talk about for days.
Definitely, definitely. So I pulled up one of your videos here. Let me get the audio going on it. Now, this is the one that we have called the I Love the Little Mermaid. I know you hate watching yourself, but what I like about your vlogs is that the lighting is fantastic, and it's all natural lighting, and this is just you, and it's you by yourself. This is your bedroom, I'm guessing, correct?
My favorite movie was The Little
So it's very intimate in that sense, and yeah, it's great. I love it so much. I know that that this is something that you've been working on for a very long time and stuff like that. And yeah, so one of the things that I know that Rosa wanted me to tell you that we do, and she says hi, by the way. Oh, did I say Rosa? I meant to say Ruru. That's okay. Oh, what's wrong?
Are you not supposed to say her real name?
She doesn't want me to.
P.S. I bring coffee on every video. Someone called me out today. They're like, you really love coffee. I'm like, yes, I do. Get used to it.
Gotcha. So yeah. So one of the things that she had told me that we do to keep things, good in our relationship is we have a jar that we bought that's about like this big, and it has a different date in it every single night that you can pick out of it. And I lucked out because the last one that we got was drinking bubbly and playing 20 questions. so
I love.
Yeah, so that's
It's
definitely
so awesome. That's funny that you would bring that up because yesterday was Saturday, obviously, and I had no plans at all. So what am I going to do with myself? And I actually, a video to come, if I can edit it properly, is yesterday on Saturday I took myself out on a date.
Oh!
So filmed myself going to dinner. I took myself to a movie. I think it's so funny.
What movie did you see?
Actually went to the bar afterwards, and I just kind of filmed it and commented during it. So speaking of dates, that's a video to come.
That's awesome. That sounds good. So, but to me, it does sound like you are having a lot of fun. You are enjoying yourself with everything that you're doing, and that's what it's all about. And I'm glad that everyone's going to be able to have this experience because I've known you for a long time. I've known that you're a very fantastic person, and I wish everything for the best for you. And when you come out here, if you're looking for a relationship to have a video with, me and Ruru, we're your couple. So there you go. Once again, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. And we'll be in touch. Oh, Puff.
This is my co-host.
Yeah, Puffin's the co-host. He's the man. That's awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for being here. And we'll talk soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Awesome. So that was Rebecca. Once again, her vlog is rosecoloredlove.com. It's also on Facebook. And I think that's about it for the show today. So thank you so much for stopping by. Here, I'll help you. Once again, if you want to follow me on Snapchat, TimmyZ4, I follow everybody back. Also on Instagram and on Twitter at TimmyI. And we'll see you next week. Talk to you soon.